So it turned out to be a pretty cold day today. It's chilly. Here it is, almost June, and we're down into really cold temperatures. Cold enough that I'm concerned about my little baby, well, they're not babies, adolescent chickens, but they seem to do okay. I don't know, sure is some strange weather. I mean, it's just done nothing but rain. We had flooding rain again just the other day, and this constant cold weather. I mean, we warmed up for about a week and now we're back down to being cold. We'll get through it, I guess. So in the news, I think there's something that I should be talking about, because of course that kind of applies to, I don't know, I feel like it applies to off-grid living, at least being prepared. So you may have heard that there's this new virus going around. 80 people worldwide have gotten it, which I don't think is a lot, but considering like nobody was getting it, now all of a sudden we got 80 people getting it. And I can't say it on YouTube. Already they're restricting information about it, but it's a virus that is named after a creature that swings around in the trees. I wish I could say more, but what I did was I went to incognito on YouTube. This is how you can find out if they're restricting it. You go to incognito and then you type in the disease, and if you only see the major news networks being shown as covering it, then you know it's being restricted. ABC, CBS, NBC, no Fox News. Then you know that YouTube's restricting it. And they're putting the old virus, the one we just got out of, the pandemic virus, warning label underneath these videos. I also think there's people getting videos taken down because of medical misinformation already. And there's no information to give, so how could there be medical misinformation? So they're already restricting it, and it's just in time for the midterm elections. So that's good news, I'm sure, for a lot of people. Really, I have nothing good to say about this. I don't want to dwell on the virus itself. I have my own thoughts about it, but it's coming. I'm sure it's coming. There was 2 people in Canada that had it. One guy from Massachusetts, I believe, traveled to Canada, and he happened to run into one of these 2 guys, apparently. Kind of like, well, what's the odds of that? That should be easy to trace. So President Biden, as of the recording of this video, just traveled, I think, over to South Korea, and he already said that we need to be worried about this virus. So it's coming. You know it's coming. Believe what you want to believe, but it's coming, because they don't do that normally for 80 people. Here's what I suspect is going to happen. Exactly what happened last time. Lockdowns, wear masks. Now here's the biggest problem. You know, last time we had a toilet paper shortage. Oh boy, toilet paper shortage. And people were absolutely panicked about not having enough toilet paper. To me, it was no big deal. I mean, there's other methods of cleaning yourself. There really is. It's not that hard. I mean, a wet washcloth? I mean, really? Soap and water? Take a shower? So I don't see why the toilet paper was such a big deal. Hand sanitizer ran out. Now what you can do, and what we did, was bleach was quite available. So we would dilute a little bit of bleach in a bowl. So there's things you can do to overcome the shortages. The bigger concern is since we just got out of a pandemic, and I don't want to say it, I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but it's hard not to believe that we're getting ready to go into another lockdown pandemic situation. So since we just came out of one, and we already have shortages, inflation is through the roof, diesel shortages on the East Coast, gas prices through the roof, food shortages, we got the bird flu going on right now where they're killing millions of birds, 30, 40, 50 millions of birds. This is going to be worse. Now the United States has bought, I believe, 60 million doses of a vaccine. So they already have a vaccine available. I think the vaccine was made way back in the 50s and the 60s. Well, there's what, nearly 400 million people in the United States. So a lot of people won't be getting the vaccine. My guess is they're worried about the important people, the president, and Congress, and rich people. Bill Gates predicted this virus several months ago. He called it almost by name and said that it'll be the next pandemic. Well, guess he got that one right. Again, I got a lot of opinions. We need to start preparing. And I think the thing you need to worry most about is not all the other stuff. Toilet paper and hand sanitizer. I think that's all fine and good. I think you need to worry about electricity. Michigan sent out a notice. I think it was Michigan. It's one of them M states, and I believe Minnesota, Michigan, doesn't matter. They sent out a notice like at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Don't quote me on the exact hours. I'm just kind of giving you an estimation. I don't live in Michigan or Minnesota. They sent out a notice on their website saying if you use electric during, I don't know, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m., your electric prices are going to double during this time frame. Basically trying to get people to shut off their air conditioners during this time frame. There's already shortages, and we know why there's shortages. We saw this in Texas several times. You know, we're switching over to clean energy, wind power, solar power, and there's times that those devices can't produce enough electricity. See this a lot in California. They shut down the power, and they just do what they call them brownouts. They do this on a regular schedule. We saw this down in Texas where they charged an enormous amount of money during a winter storm for electric. So we got electric to worry about, we got gas to worry about, we got food to worry about, and then of course water. And I've been trying to convince people for the longest time to kind of take a look at what I'm doing and seeing if you can't implement some of this in your life. I've offered you to do 30-day challenges. Shut off your electric for 30 days. Maybe run a refrigerator, and that's it. That's all. Enough to charge a phone so you can have Netflix, and see if you can do it for 30 days. But I haven't gotten anybody to respond back. Now, my mother has ordered chickens. She just got them yesterday. I think it was yesterday. And she's raised them, sent us video of it. So I'm very excited that my mother took my advice, or I don't even know if it's advice. She saw the logic in what I was saying and went ahead and got chickens, because chicken prices, we just went to the grocery store the other day, chicken prices are $5 a pound for sale items. When you go over to the regular freezer, the chicken was, I don't know, $6, $7, $8 a pound, but then they take that meat and put it over into the sale items. Well, right before it expires, that bag of chicken, that 10-pound bag of chicken, has went up $2 since the last time we went there. So everything's going up in price. Now, I hear a lot of people saying eggs are hard to get. Can't find eggs. They're really expensive when you do. Well, we haven't seen that yet where we're at. But I do believe it, that there's an egg shortage because of the bird flu. So instead of worrying about your toilet paper, I think that you should start thinking about raising something that you can raise. Now, I've talked about rabbits. I'm not a big fan of rabbits. They're just a lot of work. But if you live in a suburb or the city or whatever, and you can't have chickens, rabbits are pretty easy to raise in town. Get yourself several hutches. You can build them. Use dog cages. You can use all kinds of things. Get them off the ground, keep them out of the sun. Easy to feed, and they multiply quite rapidly. And I'm sure you can find this on Facebook or someplace. New Zealand rabbits, I think, are what they're called. They multiply so fast that they keep you stockpiled of meat pretty quickly. The downside to rabbits is it's just a lot of work. You got to keep them in individual cages. You got to feed each cage, but that does give you food. The other downside, I feel like, is rabbits don't give you eggs. Our chickens give us eggs, and then when they get too old to give us eggs, we can eat them. The eggs we just incubated. So we got 15 incubated chickens that we're going to turn into meat, and then we'll put them in the pressure canner, can them up. So that takes care of electric and food. Then gas, I think gas is going to be an issue. I talked about this in a video, I think 2 days ago, yesterday, whatever it was. Gas is going to be a problem. So you need to find ways to get around using gas. Now, I hear a lot of people complaining about the length of my yard. You know, cut your grass, it's terrible. I'm not cutting my grass. One, because it's raining so much. It's just, everything is soupy. So it's growing really fast, but I've been cutting it every 2 weeks because I don't want to use up so much gas. I use a gallon of gas every time I try to cut the grass. So if I can cut that down to 2 gallons of gas per month, that's $8. Because it's just like $8.40 to cut grass for a month. That's assuming prices stay the way they are. I would imagine they're going to continue to go up. Now they're also talking about restricting the amount of gas you can buy. Just heard this yesterday, that they're in discussions of saying you can only buy whatever, let's say it's 10 gallons of gas per week or whatever it is. So we got to start thinking about how to get off gas. And the way to get off gas is don't have to leave your house. Now I know a lot of preppers keep saying stockpile, 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 but eventually you're going to run out of your stockpile. Let's say you have a 30-day stockpile. Well, in 30 days, you're still going to have to go out and get food. The best way to do it is to become self-sustaining somehow. Chickens are about as self-sustaining as you can get. And eggs are like a superfood now. They have all your vitamins in it, except for vitamin C, because you cook those out when you cook an egg. If you could eat a raw egg, all your vitamins would be in it. So get yourself a vitamin C supplement, and then you can eat eggs. And yeah, you get tired of them after a while. You don't want to eat eggs every day, but it's food. And you can cook them different ways. Carolyn boils them. She's made devil's eggs. She scrambles them. She puts cheese in them, ham, just whatever, just to flavor them up a little bit. Today, she went to a little extra step. She cooked the ham before she put it in the eggs. And man, the flavors really popped in that. So just change it up and you can survive a long time on eggs. And eating eggs is better than starving to death. When I talked about the last virus a few months before it actually hit, a lot of people call me crazy. What are you talking about? You're nuts. And then it hit. So, and YouTube took the video down. So if you'll take a look at that super thanks button down at the bottom, I'd really appreciate it. So I hope I can inspire you to get ready so you can live your dream. Thanks for watching.